Hi, today I want to talk to you about something. Now, I've seen several videos on YouTube where they're connecting something to one of these little analog color TVs. Now, this is an RCA 2.7 LCD screen. It's the Pocket TV. Now, these are not the best to have. They are only analog. They're not digital. So let's go over this real quick. If you're in a situation where you need to have some type of TV to check weather, news reports, something like that, can you use one of these for that? Yes and no. Now I'm going to show you how to get the best possible picture out of this while doing this. But you will need a digital converter box, and you will need a very specific cable. I'm going to show you the cable here on eBay. I'm not on eBay. I just took a picture of this. This is basically a camcorder AV with the 3.5 millimeter head on it. Now you can see here there's 3 lines on this. If it doesn't have the 3 lines, it's not going to work correctly if it works at all. Now here's another type here. You see the 3 lines. Now I don't advise getting one like this with the female end here. I recommend the male end if you're going to use a digital converter box, because most of them take the male ends like this. So let's get on with this, and I'm going to show you how I hook this up. If I have an emergency situation where I need TV, say my laptop's not working, but I have an antenna. I personally have a power station. I also have solar. So drawing the least amount of power possible is of utmost importance when you're trying to run other things such as your chest freezer. Now this takes 4 AA batteries, and of course this would plug into my either power station or my solar. Alright, let's get this on. Now this has VHF and UHF. Now if you turn to here, you'll see a red line. That is VHF. You do not want that red line. You go up till that line is green. There we go. Now, unfortunately, digital is not the best thing for me to be using because my antenna is literally right there. So it's not in the best place. Let me see. Let's go down to settings and see what kind of signal we have. Oh, we're only in the 30s. That's not a very good signal. But you know what? We can pick up some channels here. Now this does have where you can adjust the brightness and contrast right here. It is not the best picture, but it's definitely clear enough to see. Now it does have audio going through it. Alright, I'm going to turn that off. Now, I'm going to go over this, and most of these, where people screw up when they're talking about these TVs, is they try to hook it up the wrong way, and they get a much worse picture than this. Now, I can definitely watch this, and I can, like I say, adjust the brightness. Is it perfect? No. Is it something as clear as your regular digital television? No, and you can see digital skipping out right there. I absolutely hate digital. But in a bad situation, if you need to find weather or news, and all you have is a limited amount of power, something like this comes in handy if you have the extra AA batteries. Now, I'm going to show you where people screw up when they're testing these or showing these. Turn this off. First of all, Here is the brightness and volume. Up here at the top, I'll get to that in a minute. Here's the antenna, which you will not need. Here is the DC plug. Now this takes a DC 6 volt 500 milliamp power station or plug if you want to run it all the time. Here is your UHF and VHF. UHF is very top. That's where you want to go. You want to go all the way to the top to pick up your digital converter box. Now here's our people strip. Let me put this back here because, yeah, I should have done this right here. Alright. Now at the top you will see phone. It actually says phone. It doesn't say earphone, but that is an earphone jack. Over here you'll see what looks like a little plastic just filler cap. That's exactly what it is. It's a cap. You pull this out, and the first time I pulled this out, I actually had it in too far, and I had to use my razor knife to get up underneath it and pull it out. And there is your input jack. Of course, there's the speakers. Or should I say speaker. Here's a little flip stand that it can rest on. Not very good, but it will work. Here is your 4 AA batteries. I have rechargeables in here. Now rechargeables generally will not last as long as regular alkaline batteries. On regular alkaline batteries, this will give you around 4 hours. And once again, let me plug this in. And you can see right here how this is. This is one of these. Now you can look these up under different names or whatever. They're around $8, maybe a little bit more, depends on where you find it. I did just look this up. Today's the 18th. And it is $8 just for the cable. But you plug it in, push down on it until you hear it like clicking there. Turn your converter box on. Now I'm going to show you how it hooks up on the back. Now I did not buy a cable. This cable actually came on my portable DVD player, so I did not have to buy a cable. And you can see here is not the greatest picture, and sometimes it could be, you know, something back here is a little bit loose. Could be your signals, you know, but it's a much better picture, or it could be the TV itself. I mean, there's a good possibility. This TV is definitely old. Now if I put it on VHF, it'll bring up nothing. I'm not sure if that's UHF or VHF. That says VHF. Yeah. And you can see the lines in here. It's not getting the best connection, but my cable is kind of old. And the converter box I have is not the best. Make sure everything's semi-tight. Now this has to do with the digital. I can already tell. And you can see it is not the best picture in the world. Now I can unplug this. Now sometimes you will see if your digital signal is next to your antenna or touching your antenna. You see that? It's not a very good picture, but this is generally how most people hook these up, is somewhere on the antenna. You know, just, hell, just go into the input jack. and it's much, much better. And you can see this old picture in here is not the best picture. This has to do with the TV, I believe. Is a pretty old TV. Now you can adjust brightness and darkness and stuff like that. That's a little bit better. You can see lines going up and down. So, you know, there's a good chance, and there went the color. Maybe it'll come back on. There it goes. So in a bad situation, can you use one of these old handheld TVs? Yes, you can, but they're very limited. Now, I believe you could hook up a VCR or DVD player the same way as you hook up your digital converter box and possibly get a better, you know, a good picture off this. Like I said, these things are pretty old. It does have sound, of course. Okay, that's not a bad picture. But if you hear no sound, that happens to be most likely your digital converter box. There's a good chance it's your digital converter box. See that? Now there's a really good picture here. It's not the best, and I absolutely detest football. It's not the best signal. It's not the best picture. But if you have a picture no sound, there's a real good chance it is on your converter box. You need to restart your converter box. Oh, that's an old movie in black and white. Now this is a much better picture than most things you see on YouTube when it comes to these little handhelds. Now, my advice is if you want to set up something like this, do not buy a color television. Buy a black and white TV. A small black and white. Oh, I think that's Gary Sinise there. Yeah, definitely.
Well, the crumpled paper that Sid found in the victim's mouth, it came from the Chelsea Voice Weekly. So that's all I got. But I'm hoping to make a connection to our victim that can.
And I'm adjusting the darkness. Okay, that's too loud. But, like I said, these TVs are not the best. If your sound blips, there's a real good chance. One, I was too close. It was interfering. The camera. Now, it is a picture that's watchable. It has a much clearer, much better picture than almost any other video I've seen on YouTube when it comes to these old TVs like this. So hopefully you can see the difference. And like I said, these are adjustable when it comes to brightness and darkness. And like I said, right here you'll see now it is in black and white. That's because these old TVs like this have a habit of going out. The color has a habit of going out. That's why I'm saying if you're going to buy a TV like this, just buy a damn black and white in the first place and be done with it. Now if I turn this off and back on, there's a good chance the color will come back. That does not have anything to do with the signal. It has to do with the TV. Now, you can find these TVs like this, like on eBay, Amazon, stuff like that. Is this worth the cost that they're asking? Most likely, no. I think the last time I saw one of these on eBay, it was like 25 bucks or something like that. It says 2.7 inch. That is not a 2.7 inch picture. That is a 2.7 inch screen going from here to here. So don't be fooled by that. It's probably 2 inches from the actual picture size. If you have the batteries, are you going to use this for anything else? It may work on a VCR. It may work on a DVD player. It may not. I don't know. I no longer own a DVD player or VCR. I do know that the Sega Dreamcast will not hook up to this. Even with the cable, the signal's completely wrong for that. Um, so when it comes to that, gaming on this, I really don't think you could do that. But in an emergency situation, if you have a way to power a digital converter box and one of these little TVs, you can keep track of news, um, storms, things like that. Now remember, this is only 4 hours on the battery, and if you're using a power station or your solar system, you want to use the very least amount of powers possible. Now, if you have a super large TV that's digital, hey, just turn your TV on to check the weather and turn it back off if you can. But remember, if you're running stuff off a power station, you need something that's low level, low power. Will this work for you? I don't know. That's up to you. I can't say yes or no either way. But like I said, I'm tired of seeing people on YouTube talk about these little TVs, but very rarely, if ever, do they talk about the input port. I mean, it is literally right there on the top. On some of these TVs, the input port is on the side. On the top. I've never seen one on the bottom. So, but, if you have an input port and the right cable, you can hook it up. Like I said, I apologize. I do not have a VCR TV to hook it up to. I did give that away. Um, but anyway, if you're interested in one of these, hey, great. Just remember, these TVs that are color tend to go out as far as the color. And so you will end up with a black and white TV. 1, 2, black and white TVs actually use less power and get a stronger signal. So, that's another thing you need to consider if you're going to buy a TV like this. For hooking up to like something like this, the converter box or whatever. I understand black and white sucks, but hey, having a black and white TV that can pick up better stations or clearer than a color TV will work any day of the week. Just remember, you have to have a very specific type of cable. This is actually a camcorder video adapter. And the cable I have here came with my portable DVD player, so I can outport the video here and plug it into like the AV jacks on a TV. Plus I have my adapter here to hook up an extension if I need to. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go, but I want to show you this to you because I've seen a few videos, not many with this like little RCA color TV. I've seen a few videos with other little TVs like this where they're trying to hook up the signal to the antenna. And they get a really bad picture. You can hardly see it, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to hook up something to one of these TVs, go through the input jack. Most of them will have an input jack. Even if it doesn't say input jack, they will pretty much have an input jack. And now I lost a little piece that goes to the input jack. Oh well. It's here somewhere. Maybe. Oh, there it is. Right there. And if you're looking at the top of these, let me get that back in there. And all you see is this. And then something that looks like a plug or a piece of plastic in there. There's a good chance that is your input jack. You have to get that plastic out of there, and that'll give you your input jack. Right there. Let's see if I can do it without getting the razor blade out again. Okay, I got it this time. Yeah, the first time I took that thing out, though, it was next to impossible to get out. And I actually had to use that to get it out. So, like I said, this little piece here fits down in there. and it caps that off. And I've never really seen somebody on YouTube talk about that. Just pull the damn cap out and use the input instead of trying to hook something up to the antenna, because that'll give you a really bad signal. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I apologize for the length of the video. Remember, this is the basically video audio adapter cable with a 3.5 millimeter to the 3 RCA mil. Now this is for camcorders, video players, things like that. If you look at these, you will see the, like the 3 black line separators. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. There we go. 1, 2, 3 black lines. Right there. 3 black lines. 3 black lines. If you get one with 2 lines, it will not work. You have to have the one with the 3 black lines for it to work properly. If it has 2 lines, it's basically an audio cable plug. It will not work on this. So remember, the 3 black lines on the other end. RCA cables, or AV plugs is what they're called. These are male. That's a 3.5 millimeter audio video plug. Right there. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Anyway, I gotta put all this crap up. Like I said, if you want me to do any more experiments or anything, let me know. The reason I will not be doing much of anything for a while is we are still paying on my girlfriend's hospital bills. We are down to 1 bill we owe. Oh, and here's a different type. Now, I advise you do not buy this, because every time you hook up a cable, you will lose signal power. Okay? You want the male, not the female. This is the female. My girlfriend did have me buy something last week. We were waiting for it to come in. I paid $12 for a low profile AMD Radeon R5 430 2 GB GDR5 graphics card for this computer down here under my bed, the Optiplex 790. Now that will allow me to play, or her to play, OpenGL games to a certain point. She should be able to play like Witcher 1 or 2, not Witcher 3. This computer's not strong enough, not enough RAM, not a good enough processor. But the Xbox games she cannot play right now with the Intel integrated graphics, the HD graphics. She'll be able to play with this graphics card. So after I ordered this, we got something in our mailbox from our landlord. They just jacked up our rent another $100 a month. So our money situation just went from bad to worse. But what can you do? So I'll try to figure out what to make some videos on. If you want to see more of my videos, that's up to you. Just let me know, and I'll try to figure something out. Once again, this is the RCA. I believe this is the 3051. Yeah, 6 volt DC, 550 milliamps. Use the adapter or 4 AA batteries. Now this is from Radio Shack. I don't even see a date on this thing. I believe that's 10/92. I'm not sure. That's a serial number. I've never found a date on this. And again, I've never really looked for a date on this. I believe these came out in the 90s. Let's see. I apologize. My glasses aren't real good. And see, here's the thing. Even on the box, right, it doesn't tell you about The input jack. This is 3-way power, plays on home, AC, or car DC, with optional adapters or 4 AA batteries extra. Receives VHF channels 2 through 13, UHF channels 14 through 69, and earphone jack. That's it. It doesn't even tell you about the input jack. I don't know why the hell they didn't tell you about that, because, I mean, it's an input jack. That is so weird. It says 16, 30, 51, so I guess that's what make and model this is a 3051. And like I said, this is not 2.7 inch. No matter what the picture says, no matter what they say, it's 2.7 inches from corner to corner, from here to here, but the picture itself is nowhere near 2.7 inches. That is so weird. Damn paperwork is still in here. It doesn't say anything. No. I can't even find a date on this. That is so weird. I've never looked for a date. I'm like, I believe these came out in the early 90s. I believe 92, 93, something like that. So that's just odd. Anyway, I apologize for the long video. Once again, if you want a TV like this for a backup, you're basically going to get analog unless you buy digital. Digital is much more expensive. But with analog, you need a way to adapt that signal. And you need the right cable. And that's just so odd. They don't even have the input marked. I mean, it has earphone there. It says phone, but nothing here. And that's literally an input jack. It's so weird. I never even thought about that. Huh. RCA, you screwed up, didn't you? Not telling people about that. Alright, anyway, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Everyone have a good day or night. And once again, I will show you the cable. If you have one of these, alright, and you want to try to hook it up to like a VCR, DVD player, something like that, that takes the AV cable, the RCA cables, AV, whatever you want to call them, you will need a specific cable, which is that cable. Make sure it has the 3 lines. Nothing else will work on this, because the lines are in different positions on the end here, and you will not get your audio and video correct. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I have to pull these batteries out, stick them on charge. You can see I have energizers, rechargeables. With alkaline batteries, you're looking at 4 hours runtime. With rechargeables, it will definitely be less. But in a bad situation or emergency, any type of communication or any type of way to see news is a good thing. And if your cell phone is not working, if the Wi-Fi is down, stuff like that, you know, maybe you can still get TV signals. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I apologize for a half-hour video again. That's it. Everyone have a good day or night. Bye.